Now, in the recently held Bangladesh polls, the Jamaat-e-Islami, leading a 11-party alliance, registered its best-ever performance with 31.76% votes and 68 seats, even as Bangladesh Nationalist Party managed a landslide win to make Tariq Rahman the Prime Minister. Jamaat-e-Islami wins, which made it the primary opposition, came primarily from areas along the Bharat-Bangladesh border. News 18 now decodes how this happened. According to intelligence sources, the win was a result of 5 factors. 1. Land grab. According to sources, surge in Hindu land seizures hit border districts of Bangladesh facing West Bengal. Over 150 families displaced in Gopalganj alone after 2024. The Vested Property Act fueled long-term marginalization of minorities. Secondly, violence against Hindus. According to sources, 2,711 incidents of violence were reported against Hindus since August 2024 after Sheikh Hasina's departure. These incidents, including arson in Rajshahi's Bidyadarpur village, where Pramanik, a local Hindu resident, was beaten and his hand broken by mobs. Displacement. A total of 150 Hindu families were displaced nationwide since August 2024 due to violence and land seizures. Border districts like Bagherhat and nearby zones seeing repeated incidents of homes looted, vandalized or occupied. The fourth factor, fear. Lynching of Dipu Chandra Das in Ghazipur on the 18th of December 2025, where the 27-year-old Hindu garment worker was beaten, hung from a tree and set on fire over blasphemy allegations, was systematic and forced many Hindus in the areas like Maulvi Bazar to abstain from voting due to safety concerns. This is what sources are telling CNN News 18. Manoj Kumar Gupta getting us these details. The fifth one, voter registration. This created an atmosphere of fear that discouraged Hindu voter registration and participation in the February 12 polls. And it was also forcing displacements in the border districts like Bagherhat and Gopalganj, where Hindu families faced land seizures by mobs, and over 47 instances happened since 2024, August 2024, after this entire upheaval and the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. Now, these areas are with economically weaker communities and reduce their electoral influence in constituencies with 15 to 20% Hindu populations. Over 133 attacks on Hindu temples, including vandalism in Chittagong during November 2024 protests led by Jamaat-e-Islami affiliates. In Shariatpur, where Hindu businessman was hacked and set on fire, further created fear in minorities from public political processes. The Vested Property Act, which enables arbitrary grabs amid impunity, affected 43% of Hindu households. Recently, this has intensified in Bagherhat, increased displacements and caused economic instability. This fear of land grab indirectly discouraged Hindu families from staying or returning to vote. Now, let's go across to our guests and then we'll get you the other inputs of why this spillover is likely to happen on the border areas in Bengal and in Assam, mirroring the other side of the Bangladesh border. Kulbir Krishanji is also joining us now. General Dhillon, you have served in this region, you know the history of this entire infiltration, the surge that happens, and more importantly, the Jamaat and its radicals who try to settle in these areas. How do you see this spilling over into Bengal and Assam? Do you believe this is a national security threat, especially if you see it from the map form? We'll try and get you that image of the map and how the Jamaat is dotting right across the borders with Bharat.
Good evening, Anand. Good evening to Mr. Vora, fellow panelists and your viewers once again. Yes, the recent election results in Bangladesh, where BNP has won more or less a landslide. Jamaat-e-Islami has won about 65, 70 odd seats. Now, with this type of a mix, and as you very rightly pointed out, Jamaat's influence is all along the border with India. And Jamaat is a known, it's not that Deobandi, it's a known Pakistan Jamaat-e-Islami extension. It's a known ISI stooge. So, the northeast of India, all the seven sisters, where insurgents in the past few decades has been very well controlled and under check. Has returned, except for few incidents here and there. The transparency of people are flourishing, everything is there, the economy is doing well. Now with Jamaat
Can't hear him.
boundary,
I
which
think,
would
yeah,
be
he's
carrying
coming.
out activities inside India. Understanding that India has its security grid in place, we have the border security there, we will be able to handle it. Now, more importantly, the point which is a discussion is, will the BNP play the Jamaati tune? Is this a new BNP or is it the same age-old BNP which is going to be, controlled by Jamaati thinking? There is a new chapter which has opened up, and let me assure one thing, or say one thing more for the information of the viewers. People say Bangladesh is landlocked. I say Bangladesh is India locked.
Yeah.
We have 4,000 kilometers of land border with Bangladesh, and the sea coast is also under Indian Navy's control from the Indian shores as well as Andaman and Nicobar, our static aircraft carrier group inside the Bay of Bengal. So there should be no doubt about in anyone's mind that Bangladesh can flex the muscles and get away with it. No, sir. Bangladesh is India locked, and it's only in Bangladesh's interest to be friendly with India, may it be trade, may it be economy, may it be prosperity, may it be waters going inside Bangladesh for their survival. So Bangladesh has to depend on India on each and everything. Radicalization is not the only policy of government. I think the times have changed, and we might see a new chapter with a new government in place.
That's a big might, sir. B-M-I-G-H-T, because the same might in another meaning is going to be used by the incumbent. So, might here and might there reflect two different possibilities altogether. Ambassador Deepak Vora.
Absolutely.
So, General Dhillon has put it across so brilliantly. I've served there. I have lots of friends in that benighted country at the moment. The damage was done by that mad fellow, Mohammed Useless Khan. You know it very well. He was a hardcore jihadi. By the way, is this true? You might be able to tell me that he and his advisor, whoever was his cabinet, have been banned from leaving Bangladesh because there are allegations that they siphoned out billions of dollars from the country.
Yeah.
If that is true, then it's karma coming home to haunt this son of a gun. May I also put it to you bluntly like this? What does he gain? What does Bangladesh gain by offending India? General Saab pointed out 52 rivers that Bangladesh needs originate in India. The Ganga Waters Treaty is going to be up for renewal by the end of this year. They need energy from us. They need food from us. And then, apart from being India locked, they have, I think, 272-kilometer border with Myanmar that is now under the control of the
Arakan.
What is that? The Arakan army. And, sir, the Arakans, I know them. They are hardcore Buddhists. Already shelling and fighting is going on the border. So they are in trouble over there. Now, this guy, can we trust him? Well, the Russians had an old proverb, Doverai no proverai, which means trust but verify. Because in 2004, we had intercepted they had found the largest, you remember, the shipment of arms, and he was supposed to be involved, although the Jamaat was blamed and several people were were sentenced to death, etc. He's supposed to be an arms dealer. Corrupt like hell, we all know that. Spent 17 years, but maybe comes back reformed to see that the world he left, our region that he left, has now totally changed. And if he has any sense, he'll be looking at what's happening in New Delhi, even as we speak. It's called the AI Impact Summit. Impact, not security and not this and that, the impact. If he has any sense, he will understand that he has nothing to lose by befriending India and everything to lose by being a jihadistani stooge.
But that is Tariq Rahman. The Jamaat and this lot have a different game. They are in it for a long game.
His military will take care of Jamaat, sir. They are no fighters.
As of now, the BJP, the Bangladesh border force, they don't stop anybody from spilling over from there to here, but anybody who's wanting to go back, they are shooting them. They are blocking them. They want the borders to be porous because for them this is good, because they believe it serves a purpose. A lot of the radical Razakar-like thought has seeped into the Bangladesh military also. It's 50-50 split, even there. Not discrediting the uniform, but the thought process and the ideology that is driving those who are wearing it today. There is a shift there. What we are seeing, if you look at the census data, and I'm just going across to this before I bring in Kulbir Krishnanji, we've got another aspect. Now, this is what is happening in Bangladesh. How is the impact happening in Bharat? Now, intel agencies are issuing red flag in West Bengal post-Bangladesh elections. Agencies say Rohingya issues, infiltration, terror networks, demographic changes in West Bengal will affect the 2026 Bengal Assembly polls. According to intel agencies, the ISI with Jamaat and Rohingya using Jamaat's Satkira and Chuadanga seats to push infiltrators into Nodia, Murshidabad. Jamaat's radical spread in Rajshahi will be used to activate sleeper cells in the North 24 Parganas to influence voter turnout during the West Bengal polls. Malda's Muslim share estimated at 55 to 60% due to cross-border migration. This with an aim for demographic alterations and terror group sleeper cells settlement via Rohingya networks. Now, the main idea is to disrupt 2026 West Bengal elections through sleeper cells in Malda. After Bangladesh elections, there will be arson, and also there will be the ARSA, that is the ARSA, RSO and JMB coordination in Cox's Bazar. This will have a spillover impact in Uttar Dinajpur with madrasa links in Birbhum as hubs. Now, this is going to activate unrest and also threaten electoral integrity in North Bengal constituencies. Intel reports also highlight Pakistan, China, Bangladesh ties targeting the Siliguri region via the Kurigram air base. Jamaat's ideological infiltration to West Bengal's borders will have potential for communal riots in areas like Jalpaiguri. Now, this is going to impact voter safety and Trinamool Congress's hold in 2026. Steps have been taken recently. Large number of undocumented Bangladeshis have returned through Hakimpur border checkpost in North 24 Parganas during the Election Commission's special intensive revision. BSF reported that 150 to 200 people crossing back daily after verification, biometric checks, criminal record screening. So there is a scrutiny which is in place. But 200-300 or a few thousand Kulbir Krishanji going back does not account for a few crores who are already rooted here now.
In fact, the number of Bangladeshis living in India has been estimated very widely, from 3 crores to 5 crores. We'll not go into that. The fact is that there are illegal immigrants from Bangladesh living in India, particularly in Bengal and also in Assam. There are also Jamaati links across the border into India. You might recall a few years back, a bomb-making factory was recovered in which, while they were making bombs, a bomb exploded and the mastermind fled to Bangladesh before he could be caught. They were linked with the Jamaat-e-Islami. So what happens is that we have our work cut out for us. All the things which you mentioned may happen or may not happen, but our job is to prevent that from happening. And the BSF, and not only the BSF, we have the entire, the educational system, the medical system, the other grassroots workers have to employ themselves such that Indian citizens get what they are required to get, but illegal immigrants and others do not get the services which they are not entitled to, and which they are reported to the BSF or to the concerned authorities for detection, deportation.
See, but here's what's happening on ground. On ground is that these are people who have entrenched themselves over the last. It's an organized network, sir. The BSF identifies these people, but they are roaming around the streets because the local police don't put them behind bars. They don't send them back. They entrench themselves, and this is a full cut money syndicate which is there, which is running this entire game, and it's happening since the time of the left, and now it's been perfected in the current. Environment too. Kulbir ji, yes.
Yes, there is a mafia which is paid to do all these things and which facilitates the entry of immigrants, particularly to Malda and Murshidabad, and from that they catch trains and go all over India. But there are hopeful signs. The BNP coming is much better than the Yunus government. The Yunus government, in fact, had given open season to the radicals to attack Hindus, as you yourself mentioned, more than 2,700 incidents involving attacks on minorities. So now that the BNP has come, not that we expect BNP to be a knight in shining armor, but we expect it to be a bit fair and, not strengthen the hands of its principal opposition party, the Jamaat, by, encouraging radicals. So it has there's a convergence of interest between India and the BNP to keep the Jamaat in check, and we have to make use of that diplomatically and on the ground also. The situation is not so bad as is being made out. The fact is that we had peaceful elections all the time, and I'm sure the next election will also be peaceful.
It's not even about the, sir, the
West
idea
Bengal
is not,
standards.
but we had recently put out this, that they have also remodeled their entire engineering pattern. It's not violent now. It's about seeding themselves socially, getting into policy making positions, and slowly increasing their numbers far ahead, far above the actual TFR ratio. If you look at the surge in population, we know that it is inorganic. And that's how, once the demographic takeover happens, then they control policy, they control politics, they control the entire region. Then at that time, there doesn't need to be a forceful acquisition of land, nor does there need to be violence. Just one incidence of violence, of lynching of a Hindu, is going to send the remaining 100 families out of that area, like they did. It's the same template that they have followed in Bangladesh, which they can follow in Dhubri, which they can follow in Malda, they can follow in Murshidabad. So at that time, people will say, oh, there is no violence. They came in. How did they seed themselves here? How did they become policy makers? How did they become MPs? They start from the wards. They win the wards, they win the councils, they win the corporations, and then they win the assembly. That's the thing. And it's a long game that's being played. Are we even wise to this long game, Ambassador Vora?
No,
I would say yes, as long as we have people like Mr. Krishnan in our security setup, and as long as we have people like General Dhillon. I think we understand what they're trying to do. And as very rightly pointed out, that the BNP and, by Mr. Krishnan, that the BNP and India have a combined interest in emasculating the Jamaati fellows. It'll happen, sir. They'll get tired. How many will they push across? Yes, there is uncontrolled population explosion in Bangladesh. They don't have enough land, etc. They want to push them into the relatively fertile areas of India. But I think very strict border security. 90% of the border, if I'm not mistaken, has already been fenced. The remaining 10% will get done very, very quickly. And whatever the West Bengal government says, good luck to them. My own feeling is it's a combination. One will be the diplomatic initiative, which we'll take in Dhaka. We've already started. Second will be the security. And third, I believe, sir, that we should make it very clear to Bangladesh, the price of messing with my security will be too high for them to pay.
Now, this General Dhillon, you would have seen that in Jammu and Kashmir also, it's beyond politics. There is a stated underlying objective. And that objective doesn't care.
Absolutely, Anand. I'll try and bifurcate this whole thing, but Mr. Vora has also spoken and the other panelists, into three different aspects. One is the political aspect. Political parties, we all know which all, have brought in these people as their political elector or vote bank, so that they continue to be in power in the member parliament elections, the MLA elections, local bodies, and what have you. Second is the economic angle. Most of these people who have come and settled in these areas have come for economic reasons. They find livelihood here is better, they earn more, their children get better education, and their families have future for it. And coupled with this is the third angle, that the security angle. That is where what we are discussing is very relevant. The elections, if they disrupt the Bengal elections, if there's a violence in Bengal elections, they will get exposed. So these sleeper cells will lie low. Bengal election violence is not their aim. Two big incidents.
Oh, we lost General Dhillon there.
Operate from
Okay,
these
he's back.
caverns where local police is not targeting them.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. I can hear you now. Go ahead, please.
You've lost him again.
Yeah.
I'm going to just check if he's back with us so that he can complete his point. Yes. Yes,
Am I
General
audible?
Dhillon. Yes, go ahead, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
So second aspect is people come for better economic life and better for the children. Yeah. Second is they come for the economic opportunities and better education for the children. But most dangerous part is they come in, sort of camouflaged as sleeper cells, and they are not going to be involving themselves with violence in Bengal election, because then the bigger game will be, sort of compromised. They will operate from these areas because they have the political patronage there of the local police. And they will establish their sleeper cells all across India. And when as ISI, through Jamaat-e-Islami, will tell them to spring up, that is the bigger worry from security point. We need to be very harsh. We need to be very ruthless in identifying these sleeper cells and send them backpacking, or
Right.
put the cases on them in Indian courts and let them languish in our jail for a lifetime.
Well, there has to be some sort
Because
of
we can't
deterrent.
afford to have these sleeper cells all along our borders,
Yeah.
and who can create damage in the whole of India.
Along with the physical deterrent and the material deterrent, there has to be an ideological deterrent also that that Bharat has to think of, so that this is stemmed. This stops. What we can do is put this and shine the spotlight on it and put it front and center for viewers to consider, and those who are watching this broadcast to consider that this is a serious challenge, because these are people who are playing the long game. Not 5, 10, 15 years, over 5, 6 generations. That's the long game that they're willing to play, and they will wait in patience. They'll wait till the time is right to strike, but till then they will continue to organize, and that's how it works. It's a global toolkit. Let's hope that the powers that be are wise to this, and they have ways to try and counter this and keep Bharat secure. To all our guests, thank you very much. To our viewers, thank you very much. We've run out of time. Namaste.